Good to see you guys. How was your weekend? I would love to know how your weekend was. Mine was spectacular. Thank you for asking why. I so appreciate you guys. It's good to see you. It was my today actually. Oh, is this going to stay if I move this? Today is my youngest grandson's first birthday. Isn't that interesting? So, born on St. Patrick's Day, we are so not Irish. We are Italian, Swedish, and a lot of other stuff, German, but we're not Irish. But it's so bizarre because so my husband's name is Kerry, Kerry, like Kerrygold butter. And that's his middle name. His first name is Ethan. Isn't Ethan Irish also? Didn't they actually name the baby an Irish name and then he was born on St. Patrick's Day? Is that what happened? I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm so glad that you are joining in every day at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We come live and we gather together and become our own advocates. This is what we do. We either have already exited the matrix or we are about to exit the matrix. And with really, really, really good, stable, foundational answers that turn back insulin resistance. I started to turn mine back at the beginning or at the height of my 40s. I entered my 50s as like a freaking hot mess express because maybe what you don't know is that when your insulin is high, it turns upside down all your other hormones. Because insulin is a hormone. Nobody is having this conversation, or I should say it's not super common like when you go to your provider. And excuse me, I'm so thirsty this morning. We had a birthday party yesterday, so we ate really good food. And so becoming a hot mess express actually could have started with the base foundation of insulin resistance. This was wildly important to me to turn everything back. I wasn't willing to take the steps necessary, but it was wildly important for me because I was super scared to even go to the doctor. My dad, Italian, type 2 diabetic, insulin dependent, died at 63. I get into my upper 40s, already having been gestational diabetic in my 20s and hypoglycemic with a second pregnancy. I definitely knew I wasn't paying attention. Like, didn't take a rocket scientist. So much so that my mother would not leave me alone. Maybe you've heard me talk about that before, but she literally was like, Kirsten, listen, are you crazy? Do you even go to the doctor? What is wrong with you? Do you know what your sugars are? Do you ever get them checked? Do you ever have labs done? Like, your dad died when you were 30. Might want to do that. And rightfully so. My entire Italian family, massive amounts of obesity and type 2 diabetes. And we were kind of just taught that it was genetics. Okay, sirrah, right? You guys, it's totally turnaroundable. Totally. And so I've committed a Facebook group to that. I come here every day, Monday through Friday, unless I'm traveling or it's a holiday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And this is what we get to talk about so that you guys can actually, in the decision that you make for yourself as to what's important for you, I am telling you what, it can happen. You turn things around. All of a sudden you find that you don't ache like you used to ache. You're getting off of meds that you were managing, that you're tired of all the doctor appointments and the trips to the Walgreens and all of the things. There are no guarantees ever, right? But I am telling you, those are the testimonies, and dropping lots and lots of weight. So that's always the fun part to talk about with you guys. But anyway, so I've lost 3 sizes in my 50s since my cycle stopped. Today, actually, what I want to talk about is, hello. Oh, thank you, Jan. Happy birthday to Ethan. I will tell Kayla. Such a pumpkin head. How does everybody grow up so dang fast? It's just crazy to me that this is what happens. It's crazy. Come on in from the balcony if you're on TikTok. Come on, join on in. Anybody that really feels like you know that somebody's going to need this information, please share it out. Today, what I want to talk to you about is the missing essential nutrient that literally half of the United States is deficient in. Half. And so if you feel like this would help your daughter-in-law, yourself, just pay attention, okay? And like why this is so essential for your health. This is a really big deal. All right. So what if I told you that over 50% of the people are walking around every day and they are feeling, these are the symptoms: exhausted, Raise your hand if you're exhausted. You can put it in the comments below. Foggy. Who's got brain fog? I mean, honestly, that was like my first symptom of everything not being right in my life. I could not handle the brain fog. And I'll tell you a little bit reason why. So, oh man, I'm sharing secrets with you. Okay, don't tell anybody, okay? You're not going to tell anybody, right? Promise? Pinky swear. So when I was in high school, I didn't always make the best decisions socially, if you know what I mean. And so there were definitely things that I did that made me feel super foggy and not foggy and hungry all at the same time. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? That was high school for me. And when I grew up, children do children things, adults do adult things. And so when I grew up and that was never a part of my life again, I never wanted to be foggy again. Like I wanted to actually live my life and have my faculties about me. So nobody was more shocked than I was when I hit my 40s. I'm working outside of the home because we homeschooled for like 20 years. And I have to go to work because outside of the home, I always cleaned houses and stuff, but I had to go get a different job because my husband lost his job and then the economy crashed and we lost our farm. Does anybody resonate with a 2008 story, right? So this happens and I go to get a job and my brain fog, you guys, my inability to multitask was stupid. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but being foggy is not a great little side note in anybody's life, okay? So if you are exhausted, you're foggy, and you're achy, without realizing that the missing piece could be something as simple as a mineral. No, I am not talking about iron or calcium, just to let you know, but I am talking about magnesium. So 50%. You could be like answering questions for your frustrations with something so simple. And I love talking about stuff like this because what if our answers are way more simplistic than we thought and they aren't as mountainous? I love, love, love sharing that mindset with people because sometimes we think that it just will never get fixed. Lorette says all of the above and more. Good morning, Lorette. Good to see you. Lori, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Everybody's jumping on. Patty in the house. It's so good to see you guys. So let's just chat about magnesium for a second. Let's break this down and make it super, super simple in just a couple of points. How does that sound today? And again, if you know of anybody that you know that needs this information that is insulin resistant, because there is a connection, right? We want to make sure that we are actually like dealing with the deficiencies so that we can turn things back around again. That needs to get out of here. It needs to go away. All right. So think of magnesium as your body's multi-tool. It helps with energy, stress, sleep, mood, heart, muscles, brain. Like magnesium, you guys, is everything. This is why people are talking about magnesium so much. I apologize. I'm super thirsty. Thank you for being patient. So it's like having your own personal bodyguard that works 24/7 for your body. I have personally been taking 2 magnesium at night before bed for 2 to 3 years now. Might be pushing 3 years now. I'm 60. I just turned 60. Remember, I said I entered my 50s as a hot mess express. I exited my 50s in January, functioning at such a higher level and lost 3 sizes and not on any meds. Okay. So it really does work when you target your supplementation. All right. So think of, okay, blah, blah, blah. So if you feel like your muscles are like cramping for no reason, you're tired even after full nights of sleep. So I like to take mine before I go to bed. Or if you're kind of moody, is anybody, you don't have to, okay. Just put a little hand in the comments. You don't have to put a big hand, just a little hand in the comments. If you snap at your family and then you later wonder why, magnesium plays a role in all of that. Very, very interesting. So a long time ago, our ancestors actually were getting like 600 milligrams of magnesium a day, just in their regular food. Like there are magnesium rich foods. We have a very depleted food supply. So I love the fact that there are these simple answers as to why things are deficient, and then there are simple answers to fix it. It's really not that hard. Okay. So they would get, eat real whole foods. Today, we're lucky if we get half of that because our soil is depleted and our food is not as nutrient rich. We eat out of season, you guys. We don't eat in season for our local area. If I'm eating a raspberry in Minnesota in January, do you really think it has any nutrients? I mean, come on. How much? If it's frozen organic and they froze it at the time of the harvesting peak of the nutrition, then yes. But if it's fresh on the shelves, it came from a really long way. Doesn't that make sense? Okay. So we're running on empty and our bodies are screaming for more. That's why people deal with stress, poor sleep, muscle tightness, and even blood sugar issues. That's the one that I really, really, really want you to understand. There's a blood sugar connection to magnesium deficiency. All right. So for those of you who are like, I've got to get my sugars down, I do not know. I field so many questions about Down phenomenon, A1Cs that just won't move, etc. I deal with this all the time in my messages, in the Facebook group, etc. And I'm telling you, you can absolutely 100% turn back insulin resistance. I promise you. I promise you. Okay. So have you ever grabbed a cheap magnesium, like just a cheap magnesium supplement at the store, and you ended up in the bathroom? Cheap magnesium, you ended up in the bathroom. Not all magnesium absorbs well. Okay. And there are a lot of forms out there, and magnesium is helping over 300 enzymatic functions in your body. So it's really important that you figure it out and that you get a blend that works. Don't be buying 4 different magnesiums with 4 different bottles. Get a blend that actually works and is very absorbable. Okay. So some are just not very gut friendly. So how do you know, right? So you guys know I have a magnesium launching on Wednesday. You can always get on my VIP list if you want to know about it. Go to my site, kirstenliebelt.com, right at the top. It's my first last name.com, right at the top. Name, email, send. Okay. But that's going to have 3 different forms. So the one that I'm using now, I really do like it. But obviously, I'm going to try my own. That's what a good business owner does. I've been waiting for this launch for like a year. But I always am so fascinated with the blend. I want to have a blend that is fitting my needs. I don't want a blend that doesn't make sense. And I tried, even before the one that I'm using now, I think I tried 3 different blends that I did not like. They were not doing it for me. So I feel like I have kind of this base understanding of what I'm looking for, of what I want a magnesium to do. I want it to help me to sleep better at night. I want it to be very absorbable. I actually do want a component in there that is not an overwhelming component, but I want a minor component to help with bowel movements, right? I mean, we want to be regular people. We don't want to, we want a daily natural answer. So I'm not going to go out. If you want to go out and buy just a straight citrate, that's probably what you're taking for a colonoscopy. I'm not sure. Actually, it's probably not. I don't know it doesn't matter. Never mind. But I'm just telling you that if you really need to clean out, but I want a minor cord in a blend. Okay. So that's one thing. Those are some of the things that I want, but I want it to be really gentle on my tummy. I don't want any digestive upset because I'm taking a magnesium that is maybe hard on my gut and not absorbing very well. Okay. So, literally, like, the blend that I'll tell you guys about on Wednesday, that is like, it's sourced. It's a marine sourced 3 parts. 2 are from the ocean. One is from, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's from Irish seawater. Like, these are really sourced well. Anyway, and then they put in this olive extract that's really great for your heart. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. So if you are struggling you wake up tired, you sleep 7 to 8 hours at night. So you have to determine whether or not any of this is you. Okay, here are some symptoms for you to know if you need some good magnesium. Susan, hi, good to see you. Joy, hello. Claudette, everybody's here. I'd love to know if people had a good weekend. I would love to know that. All right. So you sleep 7 to 8 hours at night and you wake up and you're still tired. Is that you? Is that a part of like the frustration? I know we are not getting enough sleep. And I talk about this a lot with you guys because the truth is that if you don't sleep well at night, if you're getting minimal sleep, like maybe 5 hours, 4 hours, maybe 6 hours, like you're just not getting a lot, the next day your insulin resistance is up, your cortisol is up. That is not a recipe for success in any way, shape, or form. You actually have to be sleeping. But then what if you do get that 7 to 8 hours of sleep and you wake up and you're like, why am I still so tired? Well, what if it was something super simple? What if it was that simple? Wouldn't that be nice? Golly. All right. So, how about you're feeling wired but tired at night? Did you know that's another symptom of magnesium deficiency? Okay. Here's another one. Stress is hitting you like a ton of bricks. Like you are stressed and it's very noticeable. Kind of like you walk into a brick wall a little bit, right? And sometimes that can really, you can feel the weight of that on you. I just did a phone consult with somebody on Friday, actually. We were talking back and forth because did you know, if you don't know this, did you know that you can text me or you can message me in Messenger or my inbox in Instagram or on TikTok? You can either go over there or you can message me. I just can't send you stuff on TikTok. But did you know that you can like chat with me and ask me for like, I always say, if you want to know about the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, the trio, these three right here, these are what I take all the time. And I talk about them because they help to turn it back. I say, put trio video, like message me and say, I want that trio video. It's like 2.5 minutes long. It can explain it better than I can right here. So you can always do that. But this is what she did. She messaged me and she said, we were talking back and forth and she says, my cortisol is off the charts. She told me a little bit about her work environment. And she said, will you jump on a phone call with me? And I said, I have a window available, which was kind of unusual, but I said, I have a window. So we got on the phone and we chatted and talked about ashwagandha, magnesium. Those are the 2 that I would highly recommend at night. And again, the magnesium that I will be that's launching is on Wednesday. So just hold on a second, okay? It's coming, you guys. We've been waiting a long time. I have a lot of people on my VIP list. Y'all are very interested. But my point being that dealing with stuff like that is so imperative. You have to deal with your lack of sleep. You have to deal with the stress that's just burning you out. You have to deal. Some of you just came out of years of like a hard time because you just got done helping a dementia parent. Did another phone consult last week with that one. I so deeply connect with that. My mom had dementia and we took care of her for 5 years. So that's a little bit of a cortisol raiser, right? Some of you are coming off of a really hard, bad divorce. Some of you have just lost a spouse. I talk to you guys about all of these scenarios. So I know what's going on out there. So magnesium and ashwagandha, and I take both of them at night and it really helps a lot. So that stress that might be hitting you because of your circumstances, you're feeling it even heavier, like harder. You might be magnesium deficient and it could really help you a lot. If you have really sore, tight muscles, after your workouts or even just sitting too long, that could be a magnesium deficiency. You know, like sometimes you get leg cramps at night, you lay down, that could be magnesium. Make sure, like if I go for a few nights of not taking magnesium, I so notice it in like my leg muscle reactions. I so notice that. And then this is the one that's super interesting. So this is the one that you were kind of probably, you didn't even know you wanted to hear this one today. Sugar cravings that won't go away. Sugar cravings that won't go away. Do you know how I talk to you guys all the time about your body has a response to being insulin resistant, okay? And we're over here shaming ourselves because we can't stick to a diet. We're such a Monday loser. We just don't have any willpower. We have no self-control. And we just are really mean to ourselves and hard on ourselves in our brain, in our mind, in our spirit. And I keep telling you guys, what if there's actually a biological response that is happening? And you can stop being so unkind to yourself, right? So when it comes to those sugar cravings, it's like all of a sudden we hear ourselves saying things like, listen, I am just such a sugar addict. I just love sugar. I've always loved sugar. That'll never stop. I've loved it since I was a little girl. Da 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 da. And we start literally just kind of creating our own world of why we just love sugar so much. What if it was biological? Would you actually feel better about that? Wouldn't you actually feel like that? Now you have, oh, so you're telling me I could have a little bit of control? Oh, well, that's kind of interesting, right? So your body is begging for magnesium. Those are some of the symptoms. So it's the same thing now with insulin resistance. When you are insulin resistant, you can be that way for years and years and decades before it ever shows up in your sugar. But your doctor is only waiting, usually, for your sugars to rise in your blood. It's a really poor management. It's really, really, really poor management when it was going to be so simple. Somebody could have, never mind. When I was gestational diabetic in my 20s, hello, insulin resistant. Like, hello, but that terminology wasn't being thrown around. When my shoulder froze because of fixing a rotator cuff repair, insulin resistance. Never heard the term. Never heard the term. From 22 to 50, never heard the term insulin resistant. Why would I? Nobody's talking about it. Now, I look back, I see the flags. But long before your sugars ever rise in your blood, your insulin was high, and they could have tested for it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but they didn't. It's a hormone. Should have been tested. They didn't. But your insulin is responsible to go and grab the energy from the food you just ate. It grabs the energy and it gets it into your cell so that you have energy in your body to perform all of the systems and the functions that your body needs to perform. But when you give it too much energy, because you're spiking your sugars all the time, your insulin can't keep up. Your pancreas will keep releasing insulin. Release, release, release. Go get it, go get it. Oh my gosh, we must not be making enough. Make more, make more, make more. So now your inflammation is rising. It can't keep up with your sugars. Your sugars are rising. But at this point, because you're insulin resistant, your cells have closed the door. They're like, Buster, no more. Toxic, full, stuffed like a sausage. Go away. This is why you're exhausted. It's one of the reasons you're very, very tired all the time. Or you eat and you get very tired because you get energy. Yay! Can't get into the cell. Boo. Energy. Yay! Can't get into the cell. Boo. So what's happening then is all of that extra energy, glucose, guess what's happening? It's being stored as fat. Fat, 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 fat. Back fat, belly fat, fatty liver. Anybody? Do you understand? This is a big old problem because insulin is a fat storing hormone. So if you want to be able to shift that, if you want to be able to turn that around, you have to stop doing what got you into the pickle to begin with. Recognize what is happening in your body, recognize, and then turn back, go back. And you can go back. I promise you, promise you, promise you. Okay. What did I miss there? I thought I missed something there. Sometimes I can see when the comments, like, because StreamYard does weird things. So, all right. So who feels like they really have a magnesium deficiency, or you've had a magnesium deficiency, or you know that you're insulin resistant? and you need answers to being insulin resistant. Like, I am telling you what, the most beautiful part of everything that I do is getting the testimonies from you guys. Excuse me. Telling me that your sugars are down, that your weight is down X amount of pounds, like 40 pounds, 50 pounds. Like, this is exciting. When you begin, and age doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter, you can actually begin to lose weight and turn things back, like getting off of, never mind. Like getting off of meds and everything. You can do this. Now, I don't walk people through the med loss because I'm not a doctor, but you guys sure take it upon yourself. And I just get so excited to teach you guys how to trade out your food ingredients, to teach you how to target your supplementation so that you can turn back your insulin resistance and get different results in this year. Like I always say, you know what? You have to decide for yourself what it is that it means for you. Like if you know that your insulin resistance, when you bring it down, when you bring down your insulin, your inflammation goes away. I said this in my stories this morning. I'll say it again. When my husband and I go out for a walk, I literally in my head, I'm like, thank you, Jesus, that I can walk without pain. Thank you, Lord, that I don't have so much inflammation in my body that I wake up and ache. Thank you, God, I can get down on the floor with my grandkids. Thank you that I can, and then fill in the blank. And for everybody, it is so different. Some of you really just don't want your calendar to be filled with doctor's appointments, and you would rather have your calendar filled with like friend appointments or constantly managing meds and the side effects of meds, knowing that you're going to take one and that the side effect is going to make you so tired, or it's going to make you, like you need a nap within a half an hour or whatever it is. So you're always trying to time your meds and do all these things and then go get your labs done. And then you're tracking your labs, and then like to be mentally free of things like that, because you actually get your body to function again. That's priceless. I don't know how you put a price on that. I don't know how, because I watched my dad as a business owner. He owned, first he owned Italian restaurants here in Minneapolis. I'm from Minnesota, and that was my upbringing. We had a lot of food around us, a lot of food. And then he owned furniture stores. And when he was in his 50s, that's when his health really went downhill. Young, right? And he started having more hospital stays, more procedures, more surgeries. And he had a lot of medications that he was managing. A lot. He had his old little lazy Susan full of meds. And because he was a business owner, he didn't have to get up and be at work at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. He could run his business from home on the phone for the first part of the day. So he would be on the phone, he would be taking his medications at the kitchen table and then giving himself insulin because, he injected insulin. Oh, who is here? Kristen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you, Kristen. I appreciate you so much. She's like tapping up my screen and sending me hearts and all the good stuff. So he would give himself shots of insulin, but then all of his meds had to try to play nice with each other. And they were kind of like this. And he wasn't safe to drive. Are you hearing me? He wasn't safe to drive because his sugars would be like, boom, 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 because he's following, the dietary guidelines, which are total trash and haven't changed. You're welcome. They love you so much. They haven't changed. I mean, it's shocking. I mean, somebody might point out to me that they have, but it's very little, if at all. So he would eat his Cheerios, sugar spike, with his skim milk, sugar spike, give himself insulin to try to deal with his sugar spike. It would go too low, but then he would take other meds that would give him more side effects, and he was not safe to drive. Like, oh, please, Dad, do not get on the road. Like, you're not safe for everybody else. So about noon, he would go in to run his business in person. I am so not interested. Do not sign me up for that. Do not put my name on that list. I am so not interested. So that's why I love telling you guys there's another side, and there's a Sue in my world that she found my content, started trading out her foods, just started to change the ingredients and the recipes just by understanding I have got to fix what got me into the pickle to begin with. And the 30-year stream of information coming from the medical community is trash, trash, trash. They are lying to you. I mean, that person might not know they're lying to you, but the information is lying to you. That tells you that you can have 45, 50 grams of carbs per meal as a type 2 diabetic. She said for 30 years, she kept doing what they told her to do, and she just kept getting sicker. All of a sudden, it makes sense to her, something I said, or I don't know, like the way I explains things or something, I don't know. And, I always ask God to connect me with the people that need to hear, what's on my heart. And he does, and it works out really well. So she's like, she started trading out her foods. Pretty soon she starts using some of the targeted supplements that I talk about all the time to target insulin resistance, like pulling back an arrow. Like, don't just take supplements to take supplements. Don't waste your money. Don't flush them down the toilet. Be intentional. Be a critical thinker about what you're taking. So she starts to do that and blah, blah, blah. She texts me like when the last month and she goes, or no, maybe she said it on a live. She said, oh yeah, over the last year, I've lost 50 pounds and I'm off of 10 meds. How much management are you doing in your life if you have 10 meds that you need to get off of? How much brain space? Thinking, filling pill boxes, thinking, doctor appointments, lab reports, Walgreens pickup. Make sure that prescription is there. Make sure, okay, I got to take this one at this time because that one's going to make me tired. That one might make me, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't have a frame of reference. Only I have a frame of reference from my dad, and that I know that certain ones can make people depressed. And then you need another med to deal with your depression. Right? Is this not the cycle that we're doing, people? Like, it's really bad, right? So I knew that there was no way I wanted what my dad did. And I also didn't want what my mom had. My mom, she was so full of inflammation. She ended up having hip replacement surgeries in her 50s, a knee replacement surgery. She ended up having 5 actual hip replacements over her lifetime because she started so young. And then over time, she ends up with type 2 diabetes. She should have never, ever wasn't in her family. And then Alzheimer's, type 3 diabetes, insulin resistance of the brain. So I'm just telling you, like, I saw what I didn't want. So I'm creating what I get to have right now. But you can do the same thing. I am not special. This is for everybody. Fix what got you into the pickle to begin with. Let's talk about food. Go to my stories. I just posted a picture of somebody who was in the group on Friday, and we did the recipe. We made the egg white bread custard cups in the group, and she made them, and she sent me a picture. She said, these are delicious. And I'm like, I know, I'm still a foodie. You can still be a foodie. And then I will help you target your supplements. I will help you to pull back that arrow and to be like, I have tried, like I had a customer, 3 years she was working with her doctor, 3 years trying to she got her A1C down, but she couldn't budge 1 pound. And those morning sugars just kept sticking to her like white on rice. She could not get them down. But after 2.5 months, her morning sugars plummeted 30 points. And she lost 14 pounds. And that was literally not even with all of the different layers that I talk about, because there are people who are on a larger system than what I talk about. Okay. A lot more pieces. Just this one, just the trio. You can always ask me for the trio video. I'll send you a 2.5 minute video. Okay. Hold on. I know I missed something here. So you want to know, how are we as women to balance hormones and diabetes all at the same time? That is such a terrific conversation. This is literally like, you're just speaking right to my heart. Thank you for that question, Missy. I like that. So I didn't know anything when I started to do both. Okay, so you have to hear me on this. I didn't know anything. I was very ignorant. I was not connected to my body. I was not paying attention. Okay. I was also not a supplementer. I didn't pay any attention. And so I feel like I just got these answers and then I reverse engineered why they were working in my body. So insulin is a hormone and it is tipping upside down all of your other hormones. It's going like a domino effect. So it's all one conversation. In our society, however, we separate it out, just like we silo all of our health issues in the medical community. So you go to this doctor for this, and this doctor for this, and this doctor for this. You go to your GI doctor for your digestion, and then you go to your OBGYN for your hormonal conversation. Then you go to your endocrinologist because you have diabetes, and then right? And then you go to your heart doctor. We're a mess. We're a mess. So if you're looking to exit it, this is exactly how I view things because it's all connected and it's all hormonal. Your obesity is hormonal. Your diabetes is hormonal. Your hot mess express hot flashes at night are hormonal. Your maybe painful intimacy is hormonal. Do you understand? It's all hormones. Your GLP-1 is a hormone, cortisol is a hormone, insulin is a hormone. Guess what it's all about? So it's really one answer for everything. So I did two things, okay? When I started with supplementation, I did two things. This is what I did. I'm going to just show you. And again, I didn't know anything. So I had brain fog. So I was fixing my brain fog and I used adaptogenic herbs to fix my brain fog. That's when I talk about the purple packet. Okay. So this has like 3 different adaptogenic herbs in it. And then all my 8 B vitamins time released. The only reason why I did this was because when I would take this one and I took extra of this one, this is a whole, like, just track with me for a second. If you have a second, just to track with me. Okay. And then if you don't, that's okay. Understand. But I really do, if there's one person that can benefit from this understanding, it's worth me just sharing this with you. So when they came out with this adaptogenic herb, when they had this adaptogenic herb, it was all by itself. Okay. They weren't packaged together in the purple packet. So I would take 2 of these in the morning and 2 of these after lunch. Okay. And yes, you can buy just this one in a bottle from me. Just tell me you want the mental, like it's a mood brightener and a mind brightener. Okay. Tell me you want the mind brightener and I'll get that for you. Anyway, 2 in the morning and 2 at lunch helped me with my brain fog immensely. Had no idea my brain fog was connected to anything hormonal. No idea. Like, why would I? Later on, I find out that this is actually, through a sequence of circumstances, this is actually helping to balance my hormones. Why? Why? Because it's supporting my adrenals. And your adrenals regulate your hormones. And your adrenals are the backup to your ovaries. Now, does that start to make sense a little bit? They sit on top of your kidneys. They are your backup for your ovaries. I was told by a naturopath, God bless her, Kirsten, the way you go through menopause is the way you take care of your adrenals. So unwittingly, unknowingly, I was doing a very, very, very good thing for my body. All I cared about in the moment was that my brain fog. I was like, holy Hannah, I can multitask again. Woohoo! That was me. Okay. So that's where I started. Then they packaged these 3 together as the purple packet. Now I take one of these and then I take an extra one of these. Okay. I just already did it this morning. I was talking about it in my stories. That's a great way to start dealing with people's hormones, like the hormones that you're talking about. Okay. Now, when it comes to insulin as a hormone, that's where the trio then enters in. So these 3 are the purple packet. That's fantastic. These 3 are actually the trio. I just dropped it. How does that happen every day? Not every day. I don't want to declare that. The other 3 are the trio. So insulin sensitivity and basically hormone help. It's a consistency game. There's no question. And people probably, I'm going to assume that there might be a little more, customization for some people. Like for myself, I tweaked myself. But you absolutely can change what's happening in your body so that you can function at a higher level. I never went on HRT. This is just me. I never had a hot flash. I'm just telling you, if you know what to fix, it's so similar to having a broken vehicle. If you need a new fuel pump and the mechanic says, I'm going to fix your tire instead, that ain't going to work. So it's the same thing with losing weight, dealing with your hot mess express. If you understand, oh, my adrenals are the backup for my ovaries, I should probably work on my adrenals. And instead you decide to like put a Band-Aid on your big toe, don't expect your body to give you results. It won't. Your big toe will just get pruny under that Band-Aid. I'm just telling you, understand your root concepts and the conversation that you have to have. So hold on. You're not on any meds, but you don't want to be on either. You have already lost 80 pounds. Terrific. Amazing. But still A1C are in low 6. I can so help you. You have no idea. That's amazing though. Good for you. You should be so proud of yourself. You should be so proud of yourself. Yes. I had Susan, mind fog. Yep. You saved up to get the trio, Susan. Good for you. It's like 94 in the US, just to let you know. It's 94. Canada, I don't remember. I love my Canadian customers though. And before I move on with that conversation, just to let you know, they just launched a new customer promo that's not going anywhere for a while, for a season. When you purchase 150 or more subtotal 3 months in a row on your third month, $75 off. That's amazing. Nobody is doing that. Like, that's amazing. Okay, so just to let you know, and then you can do that every 3 months. That's just a little side note. Canada, that's what triggered me to think about this. Canada, instead of 150, it's 200. Okay, and then you get 100 off though, so you get more off. Okay, that's for my Canadian customers. But I had a customer who, she started the trio, those 3 that I was just talking about. These are the insulin sensitivity ones, not the adaptogenic herb ones. She started these last July. Now you do have to understand that nobody that I'm working with that are getting really amazing results are, eating Big Macs 3 meals a day. They are becoming mindful of their food. It's why I teach you have to fix what got you into the pickle to begin with. There is no out supplementing, eating massive amounts of calorie, trans fats, and like holding in all that inflammation in your body. You just can't, because the connection between inflammation and insulin resistance is like, that's how that goes. Like, it doesn't work. Okay. So they're all being mindful, but nonetheless, she started the trio in July. Thank you, Kristen. Oh my gosh, you're so nice to me. Thank you. She's just loving on me on TikTok. I appreciate you. July to January. Oh my stars. She's giving me really fun, like shamrocks and stuff. You're amazing. July to January of 2025, July 2024 to January, just now, 2025, her doctor said, I do not know what you are doing. You are amazing. Like, she said this to me in a text. I am putting not diabetic in your chart, because she was able to get her A1C to go down that much. Okay. So I'm just telling you again, we started out this conversation talking about the deficiency of magnesium and what that looks like in your body. The trio is deficiency of trace minerals that help with insulin, sugars, getting your liver to function. Did you know that if your liver doesn't function, you can't govern the glucose in your blood? You can't govern your hormones. Insulin is a hormone. You can't metabolize fat. It is your fat metabolizing organ. You want to love your liver. Love your liver. If you understand these key core components, I am telling you, when done properly, when done correctly, this is the right way to lose weight. As an insulin resistant person, this is the right way to get off of meds. This is the right way to maybe either avoid or get yourself to come off of a GLP-1. These are really good answers for people who need to shift and do things a little differently than what they've been doing. So if you want to know about the trio, you can always text me or get into my messages, trio video. I'll send you a 2.5-minute video that I put together explaining them so that it's better than I can do right now. So if I sent you a 2.5-minute video, would you watch it? That's the question. And as far as the purple packet goes, you can always say purple packet to me if you want help with your adrenals. You need your mood to kind of go up a little bit. You need your energy to increase. You need your brain fog. Like you need a quicker answer to your brain fog. That was me. I needed a faster answer because I was in my 40s. I was working with 20-year-olds, 20-something-year-olds. And that was a very vulnerable feeling of not being able to multitask and to be able to do your job well. Okay. That didn't feel great. And then the last thing is that if you want to get on my magnesium list, it's launching on Wednesday. I'm so excited. It is a 3 marine sourced blend with an olive extract for your heart. Okay. Such a good blend, you guys. I'm not even kidding you. When I heard about the blend in December, I thought for sure it was going to be like $45. That's where I tagged it. I thought, okay, I know. I remember I tried magnesium blends. I tried like 3 of them that I did not like at all before I landed on the one that I use now while I was waiting for this launch. And so I priced things out. I know what's in the marketplace. I know what the competition is. I'm not confused. And I thought, oh boy, because they're doing marine sourced, literally like crazy pants. They're doing, they're sourcing one of them from Irish seawater. Like who does that? And I'm reading up all on this. I thought $45. Nope. $34. $34. So I'm just telling you, this is a spectacular combination of a blend and pricing come together. $34. That's so cheap to have that kind of quality and efficacy and purity. Insane. So my site is myfirstlastname.com. I'm going to show it to you. myfirstlastname.com. And this is how easy it is to get on the list. And then what I will do is I will tell you when on Wednesday, I will remind you that it has launched so you don't have to use your brain space for that. And then you'll be able to just put it in your cart. Shipping will be $4.99 as a registered customer, unless you're making a full order. And a full order, like if you're making an order that's $139 or more, in Canada, it's $185 or more. But if you are doing $139 or more, your shipping is free. Just make sure you're a registered customer, because if you are not a registered customer, you're going to miss out and then you're going to be sad. And I don't want you to be sad. I have an Android in my hand and I may or may not need help with an Android in my hand. I'm such a Mac person. Susan, I will get you that information on the purple packet. So when you are on my socials and you go to my profile, whether you're on Instagram or TikTok, if you go to my profile, you will see, especially on TikTok, under the 2 arrows, you're going to see my name, myfirstlastname.com. And when you click on that, and you'll see it on Facebook, you'll see it on Instagram, you go to kirstenliebelt.com. And when you do, this is what's going to come up other than the open. They're going to warn you because you're leaving their app. And they're basically saying, we pretty much are not excited that you're leaving our app. Go back. Don't leave the app. That's what they're saying to you. They're trying to make it sound like they're warning you and helping you, but that's what they want. So this is what it looks like. There's my face. This is literally one page. It doesn't get simpler than that, more simple than that. One page, super simple, lots of value, lots and lots and lots of value. You can text me right there. There's the trio right there. And this is the magnesium VIP list. Name, email, send. That's it. I will email you and tell you, hello, the magnesium is available. And you can go look at it for yourself. Facebook community right there. Free protein guide right there underneath it. and Trio testimonials literally coming out of your ears right here. Come on. Now, this is a Google sheet. So sometimes it comes up and it actually shows writing. Nope. Where did that? Oh, that was the grass-fed whey. Oh, you guys, anybody who's looking for a premium grass-fed whey, do not sleep on this. If you have been researching grass-fed whey, protein powder, this is such an excellent line for sports protein. That's what it was made for. Very competitive with pricing, very clean, 5 ingredients, sweetened with stevia. The taste is amazing. Okay, so here we go. Here are the Google sheet. Here's the Google sheet. You can move it. You can move it up and down and to the side. I just want you to know that because I think most people don't know that. Here's the top. These are testimonies. Just, well, for the Trio. And then as you get down to the bottom, some of them are for the Orange Pixie Stick Fat Burner. Some of them are for the Gut Primer. But I want you to know that literally if you will take 5 minutes of your own time and invest in reading other people's stories, what that does for your heart is that makes you feel encouraged. That makes you feel like you actually have a little bit of control back in your life. Because sometimes we're just following protocol because it's the only thing that's been offered to us. The protocol of take this med, go to the drugstore, get this prescription, and then deal with this side effect. So now this side effect, because maybe you're taking a med that's giving you bathroom issues. So now you have to go get an over-the-counter something to help you with the bathroom issues that were created from the med. So now you're taking scripts and you're taking over-the-counter. I don't take either. Now, that is not because I'm special. Please understand that. This has nothing to do with me. Oh, I'm just a genetic freak. No. Everybody else around me ended up with type 2 and they are obese and they are on meds and they are not happy. Come on. Believe for yourself. I should have bought stock in ibuprofen for how much I ached and just was so inflamed. So inflamed. And recently, and I told this too, I'll end with this today and then we'll jump off. Tomorrow we'll be back again at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Last week, I don't remember. You guys were asking for a lot of phone consults last week. So it worked out really well, right? Because then we can customize your supplementation and actually get you what you need and you don't buy things that you don't need. But anyway, I was talking to somebody last week and I was saying that recently on my right knee, now when I was in high school, I had arthroscopic surgery on my right knee. Something they said, you've got extra cartilage, we're going to take it out. I'm 1000% sure it was an unnecessary surgery. I digress. So I'm 60 years old and I'm starting to feel like my knee is bugging me and I'm like, oh, really? Because I'm very mindful of inflammation in my body. Like I eat a low inflammatory diet. That's what I teach you guys. I don't gatekeep anything. I tell you exactly what I'm doing. I take a turmeric when I go to bed at night, 2 of them every single night. It's literally like the most absorbable turmeric on the face of the planet, in my opinion. At least it's 45 times more absorbable than what's in the store. I mean, it's amazing. I'm just not going to lie. It's amazing. It replaces IB. Okay. Anyway, I'm not making that claim. I'm just telling you how I use it. Okay. So I take this every night. I'm like, how can I have inflammation on my knee? And I'm just like the last 45 days, 60 days. Like, what the heck? I go to my chiropractor and he adjusts me. I go every 2 weeks to a chiropractor. I get adjusted and I go, okay, before I go today, just want to let you know on my knee, la, 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 la. I tell him exactly what I just told you. And he goes, well, lay down on your tummy. Let me check it out. He's poking around. I'm like, ah! He goes, that's your hamstring. You need to stretch your hamstring. And I'm like, oh, it's just my ham. Okay, well, first of all, stop touching it because that's like fire. I almost jumped off the table. Like, holy shnikey, Ola. But secondly, I'm like, oh, it's just my hamstring. I can go home and stretch my hamstring. I can go do something like that. But it's the inflammation that I want to pay attention to, right? Like It is not normal to not be sleeping. It is not normal to have high inflammation in your body. It is not normal to be exhausted all the time. It is not normal to be starving like you are hungry. It is not normal to be chasing carbohydrates all day, every day. Like you just have, like you got your jonesing for a sugar fix. These are called symptoms, not normal. Hold on, gotta move that. These are symptoms. I might lose you, TikTok, if I can't do it right. There, I think I did it. With my left hand, I had to move a puzzle piece and it wouldn't, I kept doing it not right. And then it says unable to verify because they want to make sure I'm not a robot. I'm not a bot. So anyway, my point being that those things are not normal, but we're told that they are. Okay. So let's shift our mindset and stop believing that these things are normal. And then let's actually start to be like, oh, that Kirsten chick told me that I actually could get rid of that if I work on it. Yeah, 100%. Like I'm kind of like an assessor now of my body. Super disconnected 10 years ago. What? I should probably like pay attention to my food, but I don't want to. And I just have all these emotional connections. And what do you mean inflammation? I mean, I seriously, you guys, poster child for not paying attention. Now I assess and I'm like, and you can do the exact same thing. This is all just us as a community coming together and go, listen, I'm going to take back my body. I'm going to take back my health. I'm going to take back my function. And I'm going to spend my time, instead of managing meds, I'm going to spend my time managing my fun calendar with my friends, my fun calendar with my grandkids, my fun calendar traveling. Whatever it is for you, you have to decide for yourself. I know what it is for me. Super clear. I know exactly the way I want my life to look. And so I fight for you 5 years from now. I know where I want to be in 5 years. Do you? I know where I want my finances to be, my function to be, my memory creation to be. Think about those things, okay? And then I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, that sounds good, Susan. Yep, you send me that. That sounds great. And we will chat again tomorrow. You want to try the new magnesium? I know, Kristen, you're on the list. I will tell everybody on Wednesday when it does launch. And again, $34, you guys. So get your cart ready with whatever you're going to order. Now you know how to like reverse engineer that. If you're looking for free shipping, you know that $34 will put you over free shipping. But then don't forget that $150 a month for 3 months in a row gets you $75 off that third month. So I'm a value person. I'm a wholesale girl. It's very deeply ingrained in me to get the deal. This is my dad, my Italian dad in me coming through, talking to you. Why would you ever pay retail if you can buy wholesale? I mean, even my diamond was from a dealer 37 years ago, 38 years ago. That's just how I am. So I don't want people to miss out on the deal. I want people to hear me mention things repeatedly so that you get them. Okay. Don't miss out. If you have questions, just ask me. I'll fix it for you. So, I mean, I can't fix it if you've already placed the order, but I'll help you to be clear. So I always want people to be clear on the deal. See you tomorrow. Have the most amazing day ever. Make Monday the day that you actually get the most done, the day that you actually just crush. All right. See you later.